because it's a particular, it is right there.
When this card appears, you're being reminded that there is a time to speak and a time to be silent. Now is an occasion for listening. Pay attention not only to what is being spoken, but also to what is not being said in the moment, for the deeper message is not always obvious. Listen with your heart, not just your ears, and you'll find clarity. Receiving the listening card is a fortunate sign and ensures a greater understanding of your circumstances.
Okay, so that moment, Jen, number 47, Sacred Pool, we're going to find that moment in time where you have to resolve what you couldn't resolve. So there was a particular moment, I can't process this, that's causing a repetitive loop and this lifetime. So, Sacred Pool.
When you look into the mirror, do you like what you see? The Sacred Pool card asks that you focus on self-love and self-esteem. We are all works in progress, so a detached self-examination made with rigorous honesty is called for now. Reflect by the Sacred Pool and be at peace with yourself. Can you see how far you've come and how magical your life is? Do you notice the spark of the divine shining through your eyes? When you're conscious that you're the embodiment of spirit, it becomes easier to respect yourself and act in good conscience. And then you'll reap the greatest rewards.
Okay, so that's what you've actually done. You'll be reading number 15, Jen. So as you step back and you listen to the noise and you're like, oh, I cannot live this way anymore. So you have ears and the eyes to see and hear, and you're shifting, and you're starting to realize that there is more to than what meets the eye. And now you are taking and deliberately choosing that I'm done with this, I'm pass switching, I can put my hand back in the fire, and the particular thing that we're going to process.
The One Ring Circus. Independence is key now as you step into your journey today. Others may not have the vision or resources that you need. Recognize that all the wisdom you've acquired along the way makes you particularly competent, capable of moving forward with assurance. Self-reliance is important. Another aspect to consider is creating and maintaining clear boundaries between you and another. Be discerning about your partnerships at this time. When you know who you are and have a healthy sense of where you and others begin, you're able to enter into the best kind of relationships and will attract people who mirror back your wholeness.
All right, so in this case, you have now got that moment that you're done with, and we know it's labeled resentment. The type of healing that I'm going to have you, I would request that you do.
Do you want me to magnet the...
Yes, I want you to magnet. I'm going to hold that in space, so go ahead and do that now. Now what we're going to do with per permission is we're going to put up on the matrix, but also on, with your permission, let the healing go directly to you so you can help release the electromagnetic energy field that says you have to keep repeating it, because it's affecting the governing meridian, that it's the front part of the body, the front part of the egg, and it's about vulnerability. So we're going to help release that so that you don't have to be so vulnerable to it. Okay, that's good.
All right.
So now,
Sure.
the other part that you're going to do is that you're going to heal this. Now, I have to figure out the best way, because we already know it has to do with resentment. Now, I'm going to have you just understand that this resentment is in your sensory system. So, and I don't have it up on there yet, but I do have the healing tool that I'm going to get edited soon, and it's about submodality healing. So in this case, what I want you to do is when you see this resentment, whether you have it, they have it, but it's just there, does it have a shape? We're helping you to become the observer. Okay, what?
What does there do what?
The shape. Give it a shape. Is it endless?
Shake? S-H-A-D?
S-H-A-P-E.
A shape, like a circle or a
Rectangle,
square.
Oh, give it a shade.
Yes.
You like to meditate on it?
No, no, no. What I want you to do right now is that we're going to help you become the observer, and the way you're going to do it is because you're presently living this lifetime. We're going to help you take and heal it out of your submodalities. We're going to help you pull it out of your sensory system. So you becoming the observer, is there a particular shape, or is this to the point where it is just wrapped around you like a blanket and trying to smother you, or is it an actual glob that's somewhere?
I think it's all three, to tell you the truth. It's really bad. I mean, I
Okay.
can see where I've been impressed. I can see where people find me on my independence and my individuality, and
Okay. So what we're going to do,
gossip about me.
when you go to heal, you're going to do hope therapy. You're going to hold L2S. L is left, 2 is in the number 2, S is in soft. And you're going to hold L2S. The video will tell you how. But what you're going to do is you're going to notice and look at how the sound of it is, the way that it feels, and you're going to visualize, the contrast, the amount. In this case, the amount of how overwhelming this contrast of negativity, this constant bombardment, that the hierarchy is that they're supposed to be in charge over you. You're so done, but it's so heavy, and it's so much there, and so you're going to totally focus on every part, every ounce of this resentment. Now you have many layers of this. Now it'll either go quickly or you'll have to do this several times. But don't think it didn't work.
I know.
Okay, so
It does
L2S.
have many layers. I've gained weight over this.
Oh, honey, I'm sorry. Okay, so what you're going to do?
Seriously, it's heavy.
Okay, so L2S, and you're going to notice that when they start, or when you start noticing resentment at all, it's that first notice. There's a part of you that feels like you want to spin out. Now, this is a very much, because you're waking up enough that you can actually see it. You don't want it anymore, but there's an actual process that actually caused you to spin out that you don't even realize that you just, hey, how you handled it was you spun out. Okay, another thing about resentment is that the gall that these people have towards you. Again, you're going to hold L2S. And then they're calling you stubborn when they're very much stubborn. But you're going to look at it from every angle. And the emotionally repressed parts of you are going to come to the surface, and that is where you feel their arrogance, where you have to become arrogant in order for them to shut up. It's like all this stuff is just going to start bubbling to the surface. All the things that you weren't allowed to do because they told you couldn't is going to just want to come up like a volcano. And you don't want it to come up too fast, so that's why you're going to hold L2S. And then there's that aftertaste of it because it's depressed. You push the emotions and it's repressed. Now you got an after effect of depressed. And then you have to get angry to get out of it. But notice the patterns. Notice how people are this way. And then if you've ever felt like you've had an indecisive moment, just stare that one down. Again, holding L2S, because what's going to happen is that your fight, flight, freeze part has been screwed up. The natural instinct for you to fight has been bombarded with hell. Okay, so if you start walking through those steps and just keep going back to L2S, anytime that resentment of any kind come up, go back to L2S, it's going to start breaking the pattern. And I haven't got the one up there, but pay attention. I will have it up soon, or check in with us again, or look it up. It's called the Zip Up. And that is, you can look under Donna Eden, but the zip up is literally zipping up your aura so that you won't be taken in their crap. It is well known that, anybody that's in the proximity or they're thinking of you, if you're open and vulnerable like that, then you're going to start morphing or changing. That energy is going to cause you to fluctuate. And right now, you're doing everything you can to hold on to your boundaries. To not let them in. So learning to zip up, I think I have the hookup on there. I think I've got that tool up. You'll have to, if you can't, if I haven't put it on our website, then I would say you definitely go to YouTube under Medicine Women Reveal, because the hookup will help you a great deal with taking in all their crap. You actually you'll create a healthier boundary so you don't have to take that crap in, okay?
Okay, so do the hope therapy.
Yes, hope therapy.
And the hookup.
Yep, and the hope therapy, the code would be L2S. You're going to hold your left wrist with your right thumb, number 2 position, and you're going to hold it soft. And you're going to think about all these things. So, again, you'll want to watch, if you don't want to hear the video or hear the audio, we do have a video that we create with our shows every day. And I will get that up in a day or so, and then it'll be up on YouTube. YouTube has also got the healing tool space. If you can't find the hookup, or you just type it in and have somebody else show you how to do the hookup. But either way, there's a lot of things that you can do to help you heal, okay? And once you start to process out how you couldn't process, once you start learning how to process out the resentment that you couldn't process out all those lifetimes ago, then what's going to happen is that you're going to create your brain that you can, and you have, and you will. And then it'll be that it'll change the attraction factor so you don't have to draw those people into your space, okay?
Okay.
All right. Let us know how things are. Keep us updated.
And you know where to go for our healing tools?
Yeah, do you know where to go?
Yes, I have it on now.
Wonderful,
Great.
wonderful.
And a double name.
All right, so I'm sending you extra light and love because this is a big one. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Take care. Keep us posted.
All righty, so we'll take another call before we take a break.
And we have area code fly
763. Yeah, and you're on the air with Brenda and Jen.
Oh, I have a huge question, and I'm very concerned, but I'm also confused. I had a friend of mine come into my life. Well, actually, not even a friend. I've met her 3 times. She contacted me and told me she had something to tell me. And she told me that I was a beautiful person. And that she needed to meet up with me. Okay, well, of course, that's odd and that's weird. So I said, no, sure. And she is getting feelings, okay, that she can't explain to contact me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Metaphysical, I believe it is. So I met with her on Saturday. We spent about 8 hours together. She said 2 things to me. This is the only second time this has ever happened to her in her life. And she said 2 things to me that I could validate. But my feelings deep inside me tell me that there's a reason why, besides her feelings, there's more to why I'm supposed to meet with her. When we saw each other, we went out to lunch, and the waitress even asked if we were sisters.
Okay, I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
We compliment each other so much.
Okay.
But, I mean, and that's how we feel when we're together. We're like, I can't believe we've only, literally, this is, she gave her name, and we've only known each other for about a whole 15 minutes in our whole life.
Right. Okay, so...
And her and I are both kind of freaked out about it, of why this is like this.
All right.
There's more to this than that.
Right, there's a lot of reasons, and I'm just going to give you a quick story. My friend, my co-worker, Jen Toffel, the other half of Medicine Women Reveal.
Hi.
And so there's me and my husband, and then she was married and all this, but all of a sudden, our one mutual friend, Heather, says, oh, you got to meet each other. I mean, she kept telling us back and forth. So she comes all the way from California. I live in Michigan. And so she moved up here, came to one of my classes, and instantly, I mind you, we had the same instant that you had. We just kind of took a breath. We had the same glasses, our same haircut. We kept circling each other like dogs. We were like, no way should I have to know you. I don't even really know your name yet. How could I even know you? My soul remembered her because she was part of my twin. See, I was supposed to come in with a twin, and I didn't. My twin left me, and so she's my twin. And I about crapped my pants, and I didn't want to tell her. But then, she also knew it to some degree. Now, we have also, in many past lives, have come together in so many different ways that it was instant recognition. Okay? It wasn't just a twin thing, it was instant recognition. It's like that other part of your twin flame, but in a way, it's not, because there's a group, there's all these different aspects of yourself. I mean, this is a real complete, close reflection of really the things that you want to heal, to look at, to grow with, to actually create a bond with. Do you have any comments, Jen, on that?
It was absolutely fascinating because I've had that knowing before, but I hadn't really woken up all the gifts that I've woken up since that meeting 7 years ago. But I just knew. And our mutual friend was just laughing laughing because
Oh,
she knew what obviously what Brenda looked like. She knew what I looked like. She was just like, you guys have to meet. And she was just, that first meeting, she was like, okay, my work here is done.
Yeah,
You know,
she's done.
okay, you guys met.
And what's funny is that if you were to look at our signs, especially in the Chinese zodiac, she's supposed to be my mortal enemy. No, we have healed. We have taken and healed so much in our inner world because we live in this becoming a spiritual human that we don't play the same game or with the same rules of group consciousness. And one time she was with me helping me getting stuff done, and I knew she was going to be leaving. And so then finally she says, yeah, she goes, I have to take this insurance job, and which meant she was going to leave. Now, the dance of how people usually are is that you end up causing some type of fight or some type of resentment. And
Or
instead, rift.
You leave fighting.
Yeah, and all I said is, okay, we're going to stop, and I know you're going to be going. She goes, yes. And then I says, we have to face this feeling. We need to take care of this because I really feel that I'm now going to have what you call a abandonment. And she felt it too. And so once we addressed it and used our healing tools, then it was like, okay, we understand. And so the next day she comes in to talk to me, and all of a sudden it's like there's a wall. And I'm like, okay, we have to heal this because that's not who we are. And we took that wall down. And again, it's all about healing, not about dealing. And we had, I mean, she got a divorce, and now she's renting a room in my house with me and my husband. I mean, this is how much Spirit says we're supposed to be together to get do something, a purpose in this lifetime. So in this case, you have total recognition of this particular soul, and you know it. You don't know how you know it, which scares the hell out of you. And
it does in a way. I mean, I'll tell you one more thing that, okay, we met on Saturday, we talked on the phone on Sunday, and while we were talking on the phone, she was on her cell phone, I was on mine. Her phone died and turned off completely and would not turn back on, and the battery was not dead. But at the same second that the phone died, I was in my car driving. Of course, I shouldn't be on the phone while I'm driving, but
sorry,
but
We won't tell anybody.
I got completely nauseated and wanted to pull over on the side of the road and throw up.
Oh.
okay, yeah, it's called that emotional resonance that you have with that person. It is like when you hit a bell, and you hear it, and then all of a sudden you think it stopped. But if you listen closely, it's still ringing. It is that bond, that what they call the emotional entanglement cord that you have between two people. It doesn't matter. You'll carry it through lifetimes. Okay, there's a part of you that actually feels complete. You can't explain it. Now, some people, they are just become best friends, and they learn to walk together to create this new purpose on the planet. Some people have become lovers. Some people, we don't know how to explain it, except for the fact is you know that it's not that you don't feel complete, but you know that you feel better, more awesome, more, how do I explain it, Jen?
Yeah.
Become more so.
There's a reason. There's something we're supposed to do together.
Yes, and seeing Jen and I...
above being friends.
Yeah, Jen and I, we finally, you know what, we're supposed to work together. Now, we're not in sync as far as where we are on where the path goes, but we are in sync that we are going to get there because we both see the same goal. She's over on this side, I'm on this side, but we know that we're going to work with one another and balance each other out because we're going to get to that goal. We're just going to, it's not that...
we don't know how, and that's what I can't remember who says it, but leave the how up to the universe.
Mike Dooley.
But we both know what that goal. We both see the same picture.
Yes, and we don't have to do in human wise and going. I could go if I wanted to be really human. I would go, oh my God, you're holding me back, Jen. Hurry up, hurry up. I could really go into the semantics of just being a hellish bitch. I mean, that's just what it means to be human. But on a spiritual human level, there's a whole nother world that's going on, and when you get onto that plane of living, especially changing the consciousness of the thought and the behavior, it's a very incredible way to live, isn't it?
Yes.
It's just very much you're in sync. You communicate. There's no compromising, and you learn to if there's anything that needs to be addressed, you learn how to heal it. So you stop dealing with it. It's resolving. you learn to really grow. I mean, we have grown tremendously ever since we've come together. We can jump and leaps and bounds.
Right. I mean, and as far as working together, and there are moments where this is the happiest that I've been in my adult life.
And me too.
But I know when something comes up, because I'm still working on all my stuff. I was working on it with my ex-husband, and now he's my ex-husband. But and my family, because I'm not living with my family anymore. They got me up to a certain point, and so now I'm in this environment. But I don't want to sacrifice. I don't want to ruin the friendship. I don't want to sabotage anything in this relationship. So when something comes up, and it's like, oh, this is an old familiar feeling, and and there are times when it's like, I know I got to work on something, and I don't want to look at it. I know you can see it, because I know you're a soul coach and who you are, but I feel like this really needs to be addressed, because I know we want to get to that next leap. We want to take that next leap together in that next shift, and it's like, oh man.
And we're learning,
but in a positive
we're learning
way.
to pull each other forward, and it's not like what was the game that people used to play, tug of war. Instead, I will heal something, and that means it heals her, and then that propels her forward. She heals something, and then that heals me, which propels me forward. It literally is bringing each other forward, and they are your ultimate mirror, and this is where they get you. They totally get you without speaking. They can actually know how to help you and see things, and it's that quantum mirror of completeness. And for the first time, you can achieve anything, because the self-esteem goes up. And again, you have to really look at this, because if I would have just stayed human on all levels, we probably would have destroyed our friendship or our soul's connection, because this is the era where souls that are strongly working together or had split and now are becoming to one are learning to find each other. We're literally finding each other so that we can make this planet, or this conscious state of this plane, to become better. It's the evolution back to our higher self, back to God. So anyways, this person, for you are meant to find each other, and then you're going to find your purpose. Don't brush it. It just will start unfolding, and it'll just be a miraculous, marvelous, wonderful journey. If there's anything that comes up that starts fighting and you're out of sync, know that there's healing tools to heal this, because literally you are meant to come back together. And when the other part of you is not quite ready, because there's different parts of you. I've had another person in my life that was supposed to be in my life, but they didn't work on their issues. They couldn't get a handle on their issues, and they couldn't use the tools to process their issues. That I actually literally says, I love you, but I have to cut you out of my life, because I'm not going to step back into the fire and then now go fall backwards. I need to stand where I am, trust that you will come through the flame, and that we will joined together again, and we'll move forward. But every time I went back to rescue, to save my those parts myself, and literally got in a flame and says, here, we'll do it together, literally cost me to fling back, and then when they would do it for me, they would fling back, and we just kept falling and not moving in the evolutionary process. So this time, I've learned that if I stood there and I hold my hand out, I can help lift them up in that fashion, because I've already walked through that particular part of the flame. And I know that then she's walked through a certain particular part of the flame, and we're going to learn to propel each other forward. I hope this all makes sense to you.
Yes, it really does, and it's really positive.
And here's the thing, I've never...
And I'm glad to hear positive things.
Yeah, and me and her have never really talked to anybody about this, because we've never had anybody really ask us that question, so they could get it on the level we're talking.
I've never really listened to a radio show and called in either.
Well, we appreciate it.
Open to me too.
So again, you are meant to, from what I understand, you're meant to make the effort so that you can find that particular relationship. And what Jen did you pick?
I asked your purpose of working together with this person, what you're supposed to bring forward, and you both are supposed to work together to help purify. It's about forgiving and learning, so it's about that purification in all avenues together, and helping other people purify.
Okay.
Well, that I understand. That I can really,
And if there's issues,
wow.
if there's any issue that happens to come up between you and her, you know, we are still coaches. You can call, make an appointment. You can even find us on our shows. Ask us again about that relationship. What do I need to heal so that we can make sure that we're growing together instead of falling backwards? Because it's all about the soul's evolution this time and not about falling backwards, okay?
Okay.
All right, I appreciate you calling in. Thank you for the question.
Thank you.
All right. And we're going to continue to do this because this is our brand new station. You know, that's
Our own channel on Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah, and so please
thank
subscribe.
you for joining us.
Yep, and subscribe so that you can know when we're on. We're going to do Mondays. Right now, I'm going to do Wednesday. And then we're going to start Thursdays. Thursdays are going to be interview days. We don't know whether it's going to be for an hour or 2 hours, but that's hopefully we're going to start on November 1st. We are doing our best to find people to interview. Okay, so what we have is we're going to do a contest every now and then. We had our first contest. It was win-win, a 30-minute reading. The contest drawing, was held right today. And submit your name and email to us through Facebook with the answer to what did the Medicine Women do to the special on 10/15 video part 1 and 2. Nobody actually came up with the correct answer, so we're going to extend it one more week. So you're going to look at the videos. Not the audio, but the videos on 10/15. And you're going to look at both parts of the videos because there's 2 parts of it. And if you can tell us what we did to those 2 parts of the videos, oh, and it's 333 by the way, then you will go ahead and you will, it says,
the rules are to subscribe to youtube.com Medicine Women Reveal. I put that information, I'll put it in again in the chat room. That's our YouTube channel, Medicine Women Reveal. Friend us or subscribe to www.facebook.com/MWReveal. Friend already.
and if you're a friend already, then just email us through Facebook.
Right.
If you are not a Facebook user, which we have to understand that some people aren't, then use MWR@myself.com. That's MWR@myself.com. And tell us what we did with those 2 videos. We want to give you another shot, so we're going to go another week. And we will reveal the answer on the following Monday. Okay? And that'll be what? Halloween week?
Yes, it will.
And Halloween week, we're going
It's going to be extra special fun.
Yes, but if you watch the videos.
For the videos. The audio, I'm sure, will be fun.
Oh, I found something for the noisemaker.
Oh, that's right. So video and audio will be special during Halloween week.
Exactly. So that's going to be fun. We're going to do 2 shows, a Monday and a Wednesday, and we're going to have costumes for both days. And hopefully it'll be fun about what's going to happen. It's always fun when Spirit plays. All right, so, now we've lost our 1 caller.
Well, no, we haven't.
That's okay. All right. We lost 3, we gained 2, we lost 1. Now
right.
And so the next one supposed to be in line is area code 203.
You are on the air with Brenda and Jen.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good.
Great.
How can we help you?
Like, just a general reason what you see coming for me.
Yes, we can. All right, so just be your wonderful self. There's a lot of awkward stages that seems to be coming up on a daily basis that you may not be aware of. And if you were to act on your impulse of being who you are, sometimes it may create abandonment. Does this make sense?
Abandonment?
If you feel awkward, like if you were to act or be a certain way, then it can cause people to not want to be in your space.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I guess so.
All right. Have you ever felt awkward?
Awkward?
Yeah.
Not really. Like
Okay.
I'll just be me. As I go, just what you see is what you get from me.
Okay. So this might be in the past because they're also pushing to the word bullied. People manipulate. People manipulate in a way that they prefer this, they prefer that. I feel like you don't.
Yeah, people.
Are you more of an introvert?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the fact is that the first time you felt really awkward was 1 year old. You started to become more of an introvert at 2. And so what they're showing you is a very old pattern because they say that there's a part of you that's moving into the next adventure. You sound like you have a young voice, so I don't know how old you are, but I feel like you're moving in the next stage of becoming in the business world or applying yourself to have to make...
Yeah, I'm pursuing a career with a business partner of mine in music.
Okay. All right, so you're moving in that direction. And are you able to speak up and request what you need instead of just following?
Yeah, if I don't like something, I'll let you know I don't like it.
That's good. That's good. And do you get some? It's not that you get your own way, but do they listen?
At first, but when I guess, I don't want to say, sometimes I gotta be, I don't want to say it too aggressive, but like, this is what I want, and I'm not gonna budge.
Okay, so you've
I won't
learned.
budge.
Okay, so you learn to be able to stand up and have boundaries. Well, this
Yeah.
relationship with this is going to help you bring up some issues that need to be resolved, and that's unrequited love. It's like you do this for this person, and this other person is not giving back in the same. But what you're gonna find out is that you both have two different attributes. You're bringing your stuff to the table, and that's why you came together, is because one can do more than the other, but you need to balance it out. You need to be able to make sure one person isn't doing all the work, and it looks like, they're going to take you for granted. Like Jen and I are both in two different spaces right now, and I asked her to come on board, and I know that I'm supposed to be leaping forward, but I'm saying no because I know she's supposed to come with me. This requires me to sit back and wait for her to not catch up, but to get in the alignment to where we are so we can propel Medicine Woman forward.
Without shoving or forcing it to the point where then my health would suffer, our friendship would suffer, and that kind of thing.
Yes.
And it is about healing along the way so that it is in alignment.
Right. If you know you're supposed to be working with this person, do understand that there is, when you start noticing that you've done more work and they haven't, or you notice that they're slacking off, or when you notice any of this, this is what they're saying, is that the relationship is going to bring up the issues that you need to address. But at the same time, Jen, what did you find out?
Okay, they're saying in order for you to fully radiate, shine, show your brilliance, you need to invoke creativity, compassion, and communion.
And that means it's not, compassion doesn't mean that you have to compromise. It just means to start seeing another point of view, because it is going to help you grow into what you're becoming. Like, for instance, I've been writing my dissertation, and I know what I want to put down, and as I'm learning to incorporate other people to help me read over my mistakes and stuff like this, they think that they have a better idea and concept and idea of what I'm doing. So I automatically want to go into fight mode like I did as a kid. But if I listen closely, it is only to improve upon what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'll listen. It doesn't mean that I follow through on everything they say, but it is to help me to open up myself further. So this partnership that you're going to have is going to help you grow. Anytime you feel like you got to get angry, I would say call back in the show, and then we'll tell you how to tap it out, or call us up and we'll help you with a healing tool. But literally learning how to heal instead of deal with it. Learning to resolve the issues as they come up so you can evolve where you need to be. Does this make sense?
Yeah, I don't get angry. I just get more I have to show them more of where I'm coming from. The part
Yes.
I don't work, because you could be stubborn.
Yes.
Like, you need to do this, and this is how it was to be. Like, and then you want me to be more take control, or like, if you want me to take more control, you have to listen like I listen to you.
Yeah.
So now it's like, right now it's more equal, like he's listening. So it's like,
Well, good.
when we first started, he wasn't listening when I was telling him, and he like, well, you're not helping me. I was like, well, I'm not going to help you if you're not going to listen to my advice. That's
Exactly.
like a beating a dead horse.
Exactly.
So,
But
yeah.
you guys are learning, and that is good. And you just gave an example of how you're both of you are going to grow. Is
Yeah.
this partnership going to work? Well, that's what we're going to find out. And you're going to learn to be dependent on each other, and which is going to be good. Instead of one enabling the other one to stay in their house. You both are going to be working together, and there's a chance as you work that you may have to work alone, but learning how to work together alone is the rebirthing that you need to do, because you can be teamwork. Both of you are very important, but sometimes you have to have that solitude to create that idea you need before you present it to the table. Because if you just get this idea, present it, and it hasn't fully developed, then it's going to get shot down. You're going to learn how to just be able to grow within that. So I really do see that this is going to work well. We just told you some of the ups and downs that could occur, but if you're aware of it, and if there's stuff that really needs to be healed, you can do that too. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So did you get everything answered, or is there anything particular you wanted to ask?
This one, like, yeah, I already knew some of the business partner. I was wondering, because I have two children with somebody, and like you said earlier about the give and take and manipulation, I feel like I give more towards this relationship, and this person wanted me to get more involved. I told them, I can't give you more. You keep on taking it. It's not going to be, 50-50.
Right.
I'm going to give you what you give me.
All right. So hold this person in your mind. And we're going to do a little quick reading on that. So just hold this person in your mind. Okay. So there's a part of you that both of you, or one of you, I want to say both of you? No, one of you has gotten to the stage where you don't want to get to know each other anymore. And it's like, well, if you don't know me by now, screw you type thing. That's the first part of the energy that comes up. Jen?
So I asked about what is this relationship right now, and right now there needs to be a discernment about it, discerning what the vision is that you want to hold with women, sexuality, friendships. What you need to discern what you want out of, whether it is this relationship or other relationships. It's on you to discern what that will be, because it can either be deception or it can be wisdom, and that's what you need to discern.
Okay, so I went along with the same question, and what I got was, it first starts out is that, like I said, one of you is that I don't want to know you, I don't want to get you to know you anymore. You should already know me, which creates an addiction, which means there's a codependency, is that one will enable the other one to stay in their house, or you become addicted to a certain amount of pain, or a certain amount of, I have to be treated this way. And number 19 card came up, and it says,
You have a remarkable internal warning system that lets you know when things are out of alignment. You're about to enter dangerous territory, so tread carefully and be aware of your surroundings. The path you're on now is one that will challenge you to the core. That said, peril is also exciting and exhilarating, like the danger you feel before you enter a new relationship, knowing that you'll be changed forever. A life lived fully isn't lived only in safety. A new experience is calling to you, one that will test your courage.
so what I see is the fact is that you are going to keep repeating a pattern. Now, what's interesting is that I have this wonderful family member that got married, and the partner keeps cheating on them. And then they've only been married for a couple of years, but it's been, the cheating has happened 3 or 4 times. But they can't quit each other. They can't stop that loving. Both of them have issues, and when they come together, they become very explosive, but there are times that they become very loving. But that is because their souls want to be together, but they haven't healed their shit. They can't get their crap out of the way so they can actually be on that connection that they want to be on. So instead, they go through this abusive relationship over and over again because their souls are meant to be together, but not really in this particular lifetime. So it's hard to express your love, and it's hard to also have heart-to-heart conversations because you feel like you're in the relationship alone. It's like raising a child, and the child, does its own thing, and all you want to do is connect with this child and love them, and you're not going to get rid of them because they are your child. Well, that's also the same thing as far as the relationship goes. You know you're supposed to be together, but you're just getting abused. Does this make sense?
Yeah, I decided to, so we were decided to leave, and we had a conversation. I like, it's time for you to grow up. I said, I'm not gonna, I said, I had 2 kids with you for a purpose. I want to have a family and be around my kids, not to be a part in, you know, and waste my energy to spend my time and all that. So if I wanted to done that, I could have had kids by, you know, different women. That's not my intention.
Right.
And I was like, if you're gonna keep on with that stupidity, then I'm not gonna deal with that. I'll turn my back. That's it. I'll deal with my kids, and that's it.
Right.
So
And then,
I said, I just laughed, and I'm not dealing with that. And what you said earlier, me, if you don't know who I am now, then that's what I feel like I had to prove who I am. I told I'm done.
right.
I don't need to show you who I am. If you don't get it now, then that's it.
Right, and so I told my family member, I said what I had to tell you, this person was that they need to, are you done being abused? And that's when you finally draw the line, and you have to do some self-love, and that means you're done being abused. And it sounds like
you get to the enough is enough.
Yeah, it sounds like you've gotten there. And yes, there's a part of you that still wants to love. But there's you know, I would tell you definitely if you wanted to heal, and that is the cord switching. And that is literally changing the entanglement cord, the emotional entanglement cord that is between you and this person, because it needs to be cleansed. And once you go through the cord switching process all the way to the end, and putting the golden white light in there, it changes the relationship for the better. You'll either zig or zag, or it'll bring you closer. But if that partner does not want to step up to the plate, then you've done all you can. I had called it quits with my husband in December, but I had done a cord healing, and he was ready to walk. And then all of a sudden, he woke up and said, I don't want to walk. And then he stood up there and he started doing healing, and using the healing tools, which he deliberately said, I want to be in your space. So we both have worked very much wonderfully together. And because we have the healing tools, Jen has actually gotten to know my husband instead of him hiding in the woodwork. He's funny. He's you know, I am so happy that we have bonded the way we did, but it's 2 people that want to step up to the plate. So I would definitely tell you to do the cord switching, and if you go to mwreveal.com and go under healing tools, under cord switching, you read it through, you watch the videos, and actually it's not a hard process. It's a very easy process to do. It's knowing your crap, knowing how you feel their crap on you, and knowing how to heal it. And we explain all that on the page. And that way you can decide whether if you're enough's enough, and you've gained all your power back, and you've given all the crap back, you allow yourself to go into a new relationship. And you can be successful like me, and you win your love of your life back, or you can be like Jen, and when she did this, she knew she couldn't take it anymore. He bowed and walked away, you know. And Jen, I think, is a happier person today because she didn't have to lose herself anymore. She didn't have to compromise herself anymore. She didn't have to go through the abuse anymore. And he was a good person, not the abuse that people wanted to jump to, but it's just in an average relationship when it doesn't go right together.
Right, when you start forcing the relationship to be rather than allowing it to be
Yes.
effortless, and allow the mutual respect and the love to flow back and forth, instead of just, oh, well, I'm in a relationship, I wanted a love relationship, so I wanted to be with this person, and then, so this is what it means that I'm going to have to put up with this. He's going to say this, and, you know, this is just what married life is like. That's what I got into, and I never thought that I would be the person to say that, but that's where I was. Okay, this is what a relationship is. I want a relationship, so I just had to put up with it, and all of a sudden it was just like, whoa. It was like in Moonstruck when she smacked Nicolas Cage, and she's like, snap out of it, you know. That's what I got to get to that point.
Yeah, and so, you know, there's a lot of things you can do, and hopefully you'll do them, and once you have great success, check back in with us, like I said, or you can just make an appointment. But good luck onto the children, with your children and your business, okay, and your love life, all right?
What's the website?
MWReveal, REVEAL.com.
M as in medicine, W as in women. MW Reveal.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
Stay
thank
blessed,
you.
dear.
Take care.
And we're going to take our next caller,
Which will probably be our last caller.
which will be our last caller, be 905.
Okay.
Area code 905, you're on the air with Brenda and Jen.
Hi, Brenda and Jen. My name's Yvonne.
Hi, how
Hi.
are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How can we help you, dear?
Well, I've been having some not complications, but just trying to figure out my career. And I've been doing the same thing for quite a few years, but I know there's other opportunities coming. I wanted to get your take on that. But one thing that did happen last night is my grandmother, who died in April of 2010, came and visited me in my dream last night, and it was very real. And I know it was to do with my career, and I just wanted to see what you guys would get from that.
Okay. I was advised to draw 2 cards for you before I spoke to you. So I'm going to just read them. And for any of you, it's Colette Barron Reed, the Enchanted Mat. We've got number 11 reversed, called the Balancing Act. This is a time when it's important to address the areas of your life where there's discord. Are you fixated on getting your own way? Are you obsessed with one thing? Neglecting essential matters that require your attention? Taking your own inventory is a necessary step towards rebalancing your life, and it's the only way to reach an equitable solution. Adjust yourself to the conditions of your environment that you have no control over, and balance will come much more easier. If there is to be fairness, it must come from you. Now, I don't really agree with not the last line, but the second last line. This happened when what I call, and I was becoming a spiritual human, it's called path switching. When you are presented to look at it that way, you look back and you say what doesn't work, and then you present what you need to on a human level. If you can't physically and mentally, emotionally, spiritually heal it, you then have to decide what you're going to do. I turned and Spirit said, oh, you have to look at what's not working. I looked at my husband and I thought it was working. I had convinced myself it was working, but it wasn't, because in a way it was draining. And then my relationship with my daughter. So, I just can't stop being the mother. I could, but I'm not going to do that. But I stepped up and said, all right, I have to face in the direction I need to. I'm going to move in this direction. I'm going to move forward. But I had to get my mind and my eyes off of my husband and my daughter and start focusing on my career. And I actually, left my husband, just not very long, but I left my husband. And I made a stance to move forward, and when I did that, it shook everything else up, and the universe started to lay my path correctly. But, and at that moment I thought I was done. I couldn't be married anymore. I couldn't be the mother that my daughter wanted me to be. But it was for me to divert my eyes away from the universe, so the universe can rearrange it to make it better. Okay, and then there's other times when you have to just switch and move forward, which is where Jen comes in. You literally just move forward. So you have to look at, it's not about adapting, it's about the self-love. It's about moving forward. It's about allowing yourself to say, I need to take the steps I need to take. And then let everything else unfold and help point you to the direction. Just be done with the negativity. I used a lot of healing tools to get me to where I'm going. And then the next card that came up before you got on was number 53, and listening. Now, we had this card once before, I believe. Let me find it. It says, are you feeling that you're not being heard, that perhaps your needs aren't valid and your song will be unsung? Now, what I feel inside of you is that you have this calling or this particular thing. I want to do this. I want to do this. I know I do. I can feel the passion and conviction. But yet it feels like the universe isn't listening. It's not responding. It's not creating and giving you the law of attraction. It's not like playing fair. You've worked your ass off and you still don't see results. And then it says here, now is the time to bring your message to the world. Speak up. It's time for you to voice to resound throughout the sphere of the influence. So it's time now that you're supposed to move forward on this particular path that you're on, because it says that the universe is listening.
Yeah, I agree with the first card, but I've done all of that. Like I've gone through major transformation. I think I can relate. I think that might have been the past, and I think the one you've got now is more like I'm right on the verge at the moment.
Yes. Yep. Exactly.
And but I still have, I still haven't decided what that's going to look like.
Right. And this is where
it's right there.
It's very crucial now that you listen. Because it says in the reverse position, listening has another meaning too. It's also asks you if you're refusing to listen to someone else, preferring to hear what you want instead of what is being said. So because this new energy is on this planet, it's actually what they call living in expectancy versus living in an expectation. An expectation creates these walls, and then you line up your camera and you're like, oh, there it is. Well, most of the time you can't. You're like, it failed again. It's not there. There's actually some sequences that you need to do which lives in expectancy. So they're telling you that they want you to fine-tune these little moments so you can really leap. Like, for instance, when I started, my building burnt down, my mother and father-in-law died, and, you know, the direction, everything in my life changed. And it's like, do I stay in the same business? What do I do? And so the little nuances said, oh, I need to go talk to this person about this healing tool. I'm supposed to go and learn this particular healing tool. And then as I was moving forward, a trip came unexpected. We're supposed to go down to North Carolina and go to this conference, a writer's conference. What? I don't write. Okay, so we're supposed to go. So you listen to the little nuances. When we went down there, the person, the teacher, basically, the clue was, this is your gem. Go get a platform. I'm like, how do you get platform? And that means you're supposed to get people and followers, because you can write the best book, a Nobel Prize winning book, but if you don't have a platform, nobody's going to want it. So they're saying that the little nuances are very important. Jen, what'd you get?
Okay, so your purpose is to bring divine healing light and love into the world, and it sounds like you're aware of that. How it's being expressed, the way it's being expressed, and they also said that you're an earth angel who was born to protect, nurture, and teach about nature and the animals, and so it is about that creative expression. And I guess there is some indecisiveness about talking to your angels or listening to your angels or bringing about that message from the angels into physical, creative, expressed form.
All right, so do you understand what you need to do?
Well, I mean, I listen, I actually,
90
right,
seconds.
yeah, I do have a big connection, and I do get told, to go to certain places and go and do healing of the earth, the animals, and I do that. My issue is that my work is boring. It's not fulfilling, and yet, yes, I do like the spiritual stuff, but yet I still need to live on this earth, right?
Correct.
So that's my dilemma. And
All right,
so I
so
still do the spiritual stuff. I still do the teaching, but I'm at this point where my tolerance level is very low towards anything earthly, and
Okay.
that's my struggle.
What we're going to do is we're going to say, hold on, do not hang up, because once we go off the air, I wanted to continue to talk to you a little bit. And so thank you,
Okay.
everybody, and now we have to sign off. Thank you, everybody, listening in the chat. Go.
To decide how your job feels, right? But
Okay.
at the same time, my internal system is saying you're not honoring yourself. So it's in a real,
Conflict.
battle.
All right, when this happens, and this happens a lot, because this is where your soul wants you to move forward, and the logical part is saying, well, wait a minute. Now, what that tells you is that there's a moment in time that needs to be redressed so that you can resolve it to take your whole self in the direction you're supposed to go into. Now, as far as the feeling nature of how you know it, you're done, you're frustrated, you want to tolerate it anymore, and that is great, because you have a chance to resolve those issues, the feeling of how you know it, so that it can open the door up for a better decision. It's those feelings that fuel that keep repeating that moment. Do you understand what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the knowing and the feeling, and you have to keep repeating it over and over. Once you resolve this, and maybe another issue may show up, or it'll just be effortless, because once you take and resolve certain things, the caudate nucleus, that part of the brain that governs fear, literally will allow you to take and, once you resolve the fear, joy has its task to replace it, because there's only two things that can reside in the caudate nucleus, and that's love, or what we refer to as joy, and fear. Once you heal the fear, it's effortless to become more who you are, which is to be in the joy. But right now, that last piece, so that you can move on to the next part, is to resolve that how you know it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
So the healing that I would ask you to do is that, because the logical aspect of it keeps interfering, because you want to do the right thing, which actually causes you to keep doing a repetitive thing. So you know what I mean by right and wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So in your mind, you know, you feel like you want to honor yourself, that's the right thing, but then you're supposed to keep this because you got to survive, which is the right thing, which also causes you to go, oh my God, I can't do this repetitive thing. How I would tell you to heal would be through Hope Therapy, and you would go to mwrevealed.com and look under Healing Tools, Hope Therapy, and you would go and hold R2D, right wrist, second position deep. And R2D covers the spleen meridian, where there is, I can't control the events, I'm tired of living through others, I feel like there's hopelessness, sometimes I just can't trust, you know, or there's a feeling of low self-esteem. And then you're going to, you know, follow the process where they tell you to hold the wrist and then the finger in the palm of the hand, because it's that self-conscious, that right and wrong, it's that feeling nature. Once you hold that position, you just got to think about how you already know this. You've already explained it to us, but now you're going to get a chance to just run with it. You know, you're going to focus on how you know it, and then put it on a scale from 0 to 10, give it a color, and what will happen is, because you're using the healing tool, the blood will come back up to the forebrain, and the forebrain is where you create all reality. And so as you're cleansing and clearing about how you know it, your brain actually gets to resolve those issues, which allows you to start creating better. Because the energy have dissolved, the negative emotions dissolved, you preserved all the positive learning so you don't have to repeat. You literally get to do more about what you want to do. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
do you understand where to go to get the healing tool?
Yeah.
Okay, and you understand that your code is R2D, and R represents right, 2 is the second position, and D is for deep. Watch the video, and I can't remember if I put the instructions up there yet or not, which I think I did. So if you can't do this alone, we are soul coaches. You just go to the same website and look for contact us and set up an appointment or call back in the show, okay?
All right. Well, thank you very much.
All right, thank you, and namaste.